we tend to see Jil Sander as the temple of cold, almost clinical minimalism, where every line is there to reassure us with its perfection. But this season something changed. What if clothing wasn't just about being elegant anymore, but became a real piece of armor to get us through times that feel like they're slipping away? Can we actually find beauty in pure melancholy, or does this collection mark a break that's just too strange to be understood? Hello my fellow fashion lovers. We're heading to East Milan, into a massive warehouse turned industrial sanctuary, to discover the Jil Sander Spring Summer 2025 show. Forget the usual sunny spring cliches. Lucie and Luke Meier are diving us into an atmosphere that feels straight out of Blade Runner, a mix of 50s nostalgia and a slightly unsettling urban futurism. What hits you right from the start is this artificial, almost greasy light. The Meiers took inspiration from photographer Girard, a master at capturing the solitude of cities at night under neon lights and fog. The color palette is incredible, oil blues that look wet, deep burgundies, and shades that remind you of those empty 3 a.m. diners in the streets of Vancouver. It's very cinematic, almost intimidating. We're not in daytime fashion anymore, we're in the aesthetics of insomnia. The technical execution remains surgically precise, but with a Western twist that shakes everything up. The collars are sharp, the volumes are massive, and we see snakeskin boots bringing a raw, organic texture in the middle of all that satin and shiny leather. The mix of genres is bold, minimalist varsity jackets sitting next to reimagined bowling shirts. It's a time travel trip that stops somewhere between 1950 and 1980, but without ever falling into a theatrical costume. You can feel a desire to create solid pieces for people who need to feel protected. We have to talk about the fabrics because that's where the dialogue between Luke and Lucie gets fascinating. On one side, you have Luke's masculine rigor with sharp-shouldered suits and long coats that hang with a reassuring weight. On the other, Lucie's sensibility brings an almost domestic softness. We see floral crochet embroideries, details that look like grandma's doilies on technical polos, or silver beads shimmering on ribbed knitwear. This handcrafted touch brings a touching vulnerability to the middle of all this leather and heavy satin armor. It's the Meiers' answer to what they call a difficult period, clothing as a last refuge for tenderness. If I had to point out a real critique, it would probably be a bit of a scattered message. By trying to mix the futuristic cowboy, rockabilly, and artisanal crochet, the collection loses that relentless coherence that was Jil Sander's strength in recent years. At times, you wonder if you're looking at one single story or a series of isolated scenes. Is it a ranch, a jazz club, or a rainy street in Tokyo? The direction lacks a bit of overall clarity. However, the strong point is undeniable. Every piece on its own is a masterclass in cutting. Take any wide-leg trouser or any shiny leather jacket, the silhouette is absolutely modern, stripped of all the fluff that often pollutes fashion today. I wonder if this darker, more introspective direction isn't actually the most honest one right now. After all, do we still want collections that pretend everything is fine, or do we prefer fashion that embraces the reality of the world? Jil Sander is giving us a wardrobe for the Twilight, and it's paradoxically rare in its elegance. You leave the show with the image of those beads glowing under the neons, like tiny bits of hope in the middle of the night. It's a proposal that doesn't look for consensus, but stands out through its refusal of the easy path and its deep humanity. I wish you an excellent viewing experience. Thank you for being here and sharing this moment with me. Don't hesitate to let me know in the comments what you thought of this shift towards something more layered and narrative at Jil Sander. Does this melancholic turn resonate with you, or do you already miss the radical minimalism? I'll see you very soon for a new breakdown. Take care and stay inspired.